Good morning. Good morning and welcome. The graduation ceremony for Elmwood High School Class of 2020 is about to begin. Please take your seats and turn off all cell phone, pagers, and other electronic devices. We appreciate your cooperation in making a very respectful event for Class of 2020. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, we ask that you please leave the stands at the upper level exits. Do not come onto the football field or track. Please stand in place until graduates have left the stadium and wait for dismissal by Mr. Burdett. We will dismiss by zones in effort to maintain proper social distancing guidelines. Thank you. In addition, due to social distancing guidelines, we respectfully ask that you safely and quickly leave the campus. Photographs and other celebrating will need to take place on an off-campus location. Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone, please be seated. Good morning, Dr. Glenn, board members, Ms. Blunt, assistant principals, faculty, parents, and the class of 2020. I would like to welcome you to this very special graduation ceremony. We thank you for being here with us today.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to begin by thanking everyone that is watching today, whether here or from home. I know that this year has taken a turn no one could have foreseen, but I'm sure I speak on behalf of the entire class of 2020 when I say we are extremely grateful to everyone who has made this graduation possible. All that being said, I think it's safe to say the class of 2020 has officially won Senior Skip Day. When the final bell rang on March 13th, we had no idea that we had just finished our last ever school day. The end of our high school career was ripped away from us, and with it precious time for friends and family that we will soon leave behind. It's what Coach Payne would call tragic. But we are a resilient class, and while I know we are all saddened by the circumstances of our senior year, I think it is important that we remember all of the good times we are fortunate to have had. I don't want to dwell on all the things that have gone wrong, but instead I wish to remind everyone of the journey that brought us all here today. In August of 2016, we entered this building as freshmen who thought they were too cool for school, but also carried around maps the entire first week because they were afraid of getting lost. For those of us brave enough to venture near the upperclassmen at football games, we quickly learned that our place was at the very back of the student section. We were scared and naive, but still ready to take on whatever the next 4 years had to offer. As sophomores, we finally began to find our place here. This was the year that we started driving, which to us was like the coolest thing ever. We complained about how senior year couldn't get here fast enough, oblivious to the fact that it would all be over much too soon. Junior year, we finally achieved upperclassman status and everything that comes with it. Suddenly, the looming threat of SATs was very real, and with it came the anxiety of college applications. It was definitely a stressful time, but thank God we always had Ruben there to tell us we were Epsilon Flyers of the Year, so at least we weren't complete failures. Then, at last, we were seniors, and all of our hard work was finally paying off. This was the year we quickly realized that high school really does fly by, and everyone who warned us wasn't lying after all. We cherished all of our last first day, last football game, last homecoming, and now we're here. Graduation, the biggest of the last, a final goodbye to not just high school, but childhood. So here's to you, class of 2020, because there's no one I'd rather graduate with. I'm proud of each and every person here. It wasn't always easy, but we made it, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for all of us. In the wise words of Michael Scott, may your hats fly as high as your dreams. Thank you.
The Colonel Taylor Service Before Self Award is given in honor of retired Lieutenant Colonel Bernard Taylor, who served 23 years in the United States Air Force and 20 years in education at Emerald High School. The recipient of the Colonel Taylor Service Before Self Award is Natalie Jones. Coach Frank Hill has made a positive impact on everyone he met. His legacy will live on at Emerald High School and in the Greenwood community as a whole. Not only did Frank Hill love his athletes, he loved all students, and he influenced so many lives. The Emerald High School Booster Club created the Coach Frank Hill Memorial Scholarship to honor students who exhibit the kind of exceptional character, kindness, and integrity that Coach Hill showed us all. The Emerald High School Booster Club is proud to present the first annual Coach Frank Hill Memorial Scholarship to Bryson Jones. Emerald High School has 12 Palmetto Fellows recipients. Please stand as I call your name. Jo Beth Darby, Grace Jones, Mark Dunford, Ashby Elliott, Eric Gardner, Natalie Jones, Patrick Smathers, Dawson Thompson, Lane Vickery, John Wiseman Jr., Jasmine Witt, and Lenasia Wright. We are proud to announce Ashby Elliott as the recipient of a National Merit Letter of Commendation. We have 7 South Carolina Academic Honor graduates. Grace Davis, Ashby Elliott, Eric Gardner, Lauren Paramore, Dawson Thompson, John Wiseman Jr., and Jasmine Witt. We have 7 AP scholars who have taken 3 AP exams and scored at least a 3. Grace Davis, Mark Dunford, Ashby Elliott, Eric Gardner, Cameron McGahee, Patrick Smathers, and Jasmine Witt. And 1 AP scholar with honor who has taken 4 AP exams and scored an average of at least a 3.25, Lauren Paramore. We have 7 outstanding senior AFJROTC cadets: Thaddeus Borum, Jeremiah Coleman, Natalie Jones, Weston McCravey, William Pitavino, Ricky Weeks, and Charlotte Young. Seven of our graduates are wearing red, white, and blue cords indicating that they have enlisted in the armed services: Jeremiah Coleman, William Pitavino, Ricky Weeks, all 3 of these students with the United States Air Force. Weston McCravey with the United States Marine Corps Reserves. Margaret Boyd, Hannah Stephanie, and Charlotte Young with the United States Army. We would now like to recognize our 2 students earning the Seal of Biliteracy: Abraham Mendoza and Karime Smith. We have 52 Gold Tassel Honor graduates with a 4.0 GPA or higher, 26 National Honor Society graduates, 10 National Technical Honor Society graduates, 44 National Beta Club graduates, 4 EMOC mentors, 10 AVID graduates, 5 CATE completers, and numerous Life and Hope Scholarship recipients. There are others too numerous to name. The scholarships and grants that were reported for the class of 2020 constitute an excess of $3.5 million in awards. Congratulations. At this time, please join me in congratulating some special members of the class of 2020. Please stand as your name is called. We begin by saying thank you to Sabrina Barisha for her leadership as student body president, and to Caroline Joseph as senior class president. Eagle Scout is the highest rank attainable by the Boy Scouts of America. We recognize Eric Gardner for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. The following students have worked extremely hard all 4 years to earn the prestigious honor of being ranked at the top of their class. Congratulations to our Salutatorian, Jasmine Witt, and congratulations to our Valedictorian, Jo Beth Darby. We will now hear from them.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to begin by thanking everyone that is watching today, whether here or from home. I know that this year has taken a turn no one could have foreseen, but I'm sure I speak on behalf of the entire class of 2020 when I say we are extremely grateful to everyone who has made this graduation possible. All that being said, I think it's safe to say the class of 2020 has officially won Senior Skip Day. When the final bell rang on March 13th, we had no idea that we had just finished our last ever school day. The end of our high school career was ripped away from us, and with it precious time for friends and family that we will soon leave behind. It's what Coach Payne would call tragic. But we are a resilient class, and while I know we are all saddened by the circumstances of our senior year, I think it is important that we remember all of the good times we are fortunate to have had. I don't want to dwell on all the things that have gone wrong, but instead I wish to remind everyone of the journey that brought us all here today. In August of 2016, we entered this building as freshmen who thought they were too cool for school, but also carried around maps the entire first week because they were afraid of getting lost. For those of us brave enough to venture near the upperclassmen at football games, we quickly learned that our place was at the very back of the student section. We were scared and naive, but still ready to take on whatever the next 4 years had to offer. As sophomores, we finally began to find our place here. This was the year that we started driving, which to us was like the coolest thing ever. We complained about how senior year couldn't get here fast enough, oblivious to the fact that it would all be over much too soon. Junior year, we finally achieved upperclassmen status and everything that comes with it. Suddenly, the looming threat of SATs was very real, and with it came the anxiety of college applications. It was definitely a stressful time, but thank God we always had Ruben there to tell us we were Epsilon Flyers of the Year, so at least we weren't complete failures. Then, at last, we were seniors, and all of our hard work was finally paying off. This was the year we quickly realized that high school really does fly by, and everyone who warned us wasn't lying after all. We cherished all of our last first day, last football game, last homecoming. And now we're here, graduation, the biggest of the last, a final goodbye to not just high school, but childhood. So here's to you, class of 2020, because there's no one I'd rather graduate with. I'm proud of each and every person here. It wasn't always easy, but we made it, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for all of us. In the wise words of Michael Scott, may your hats fly as high as your dreams. Thank you.
Good morning, graduates, families, friends, administrators, and teachers. I'm so thankful and honored to have this opportunity to speak to you. I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since I've put a dress on, or dressed in something besides my pajamas. I would like to thank my family, teachers, coaches, and fellow classmates for their constant support over these past 4 years. I would also encourage you to thank those who have supported you throughout your high school career. If we're honest with ourselves, we did not make it to this day on our own. These past 4 years of high school have been exciting, and I think we can all agree that senior year has been full of the most surprises, but each year has been special in its own way. I'd like to share a personal story from my first year as an Emerald High School student. When I was in 9th grade, I decided to join Emerald's track and field team. Somehow, Coach Payne convinced me to come to a single day of practice. And if you're one of his athletes, you know that that's all it takes to be committed for life. I had never played a sport before, and it was obvious to anyone who watched me run. I practiced with the team for months, and it was finally racing season, which meant anxiety, vomiting, and a little more vomiting. I lined up for the 800-meter race, listened for the gun to go off, and then ran with everything that I had. The crowds were cheering as the athletes ran across the finish line. One scrawny little girl finished half a minute behind the pack, dead last. That scrawny little girl was myself. It was in moments like those that I would lose hope and sight of a better future. How often do we lose hope when we don't know what the future is? Take today, for instance. We don't know when the heavy cloud of COVID-19 will be lifted. The future is uncertain. After my first year of running, my coaches and teammates continued to encourage me to be a part of the team. As I invested more time in the sport and pushed myself to a further extent, I finally started making progress with running. By my junior year, I won the same race that I had come in dead last only a couple of years before. I share this story as an illustration of hope. If I had decided to quit after coming in so far everyone else when I raced for the first time, I never would have won that same race years later. I had hope that things would get better. Sometimes I needed a reminder of hope. Sometimes I would only think of the worst things that could happen in my future. It was times like these where I learned to stop and pray for hope. Jeremiah 29:11 reads, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, plans to give you a future and a hope." I would often find myself quoting parts of this verse as a way to renew my hope. My coaches, teammates, and family also helped me have hope. When I wanted to slow down, my coaches assured me that my hard work would pay off. When I wanted to give up, my teammates strengthened my endurance. When I wanted to break down, my family encouraged me that my performance had no impact on their love for me. It's not always easy to have hope, and many times we need others to reveal the hope that we have. While none of us know exactly what our future looks like, it's safe to say that all of our futures will look different. Some of us have chosen to enter the workforce, while others have decided to serve in the military, and still others have decided to pursue further education. Despite current circumstances, it can be daunting to enter the next stage of life. Hope is not solely necessary during the COVID-19 crisis, but rather essential in all aspects of life. The state motto of South Carolina reads, "Dum spiro spero." While I breathe, I hope. Is that true for us today? The next time you're waiting at a red light, trying to get to Walmart to pick up more toilet paper, look for this phrase on the license plates around you. Be reminded of what it means to have hope. Hope brings us together. Hope allows us to move forward. Hope promises a better tomorrow. Congratulations, class of 2020. May you experience much hope and success.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you would rise for the singing of the Alma Mater.
Emerald Vikings are victorious, stand in honor and pride. Gold and purple colors luminous, shields held at our side. Steadfast in the spirit we shall triumph, brave, strong, and faithful we shall ever be. Alma Mater ever glorious, always be our guide.
Thank you. You may be seated. Before I present the class of 2020 to Dr. Glenn for the presentation of diplomas, I would like for us to have an opportunity to release some of the excitement that we have today. When I say go, please feel free to scream, shout, enjoy in order to get the excitement out before the presentation of the diplomas begins, and everyone will be asked to remain quiet. Go. Thank you. Now, let me remind all in attendance to refrain from any and all outbursts that might cause a family member not to hear their student's name called and would require removal from the ceremony. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Emerald High School, I would like to thank you for allowing us the privilege of educating your student to this point in their lives. Emerald High School is a school in Greenwood School District 50 that is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. Advanced Ed is the parent organization of the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Council on Accreditation and School Improvement. Emerald is also accredited by the State Department of Education. This agency imposes certain standards that schools must meet, and it is by this authority that we issue these diplomas. Dr. Glenn, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the graduating class of 2020.
Jo Beth Darby. Jasmine Paige Marie Witt. Hannah Renee Abels. Sean Colin Adams. Tristan Isabel Aguilar. Jose Manuel Alday. Wells Andrew Anderson. James Whalen Artis. Landarius Raquan Austin. Hayden Michael Babb. Ebony Ayana Michelle Barksdale. Taylor O'Neill Bates. Brian Bautista Enriquez. Zachary Cole Beckham. Sabrina Barisha. Thaddeus Zechariah Borum. Langdon Cole Boyd. Margaret Keys Boyd. Emery James Britt. Azari Samara Brown. Jacob Elijah Brumfield. Taylor Cheyenne Brumfield. Trenton Dale Burrows. Jemiah Orion Marianda Burton. Shekinah Aaliyah Burton. Demetrius Tyrell Cade. Rachel Wynn Carter. Charlotte Lori Casey. Jacob Ellis Cathy. Anna Bryce Kavanaugh. Anna Jacqueline Celadon. Connor Scott Clifton. Quadeja Nikeria Coates. Alden Zane Cockrell. Jeremiah Ezekiel Coleman. Demetrius Jaquavius Covington. Jonathan Matthew Craig. Grace Marie Davis. Tadrikas LaShawn Davis. Jared De La Paz Diaz. Mary Brennan Detreville. Cash Antonio Di Giacomo. Grayson Noble Dixon. Haley Lynn Dorn. Dakota Lane Driggers. Leslie Ann Dudley. Mark Christopher Dunford. Korshanda Alicia Durant. Brianne Renee Eklund. Cameron Alexander Ellerby. Ashby Joseph Elliott. Ahmad Detarius Evans. Caitlin Marie Fain. Etoria Elnita Flemings. Nastevian Basharis Freeman. Shara Natasha Ashanti Gant. Eric Scott Gardner. Caroline Elizabeth Gary. Litzy Gonzalez. Elizabeth Leanne Gordon. Emma Page Gordy. DeAndre Rashid Griffin. Jamias Talik Hackett. Kiana Elisa Hankinson. Rebecca Grace Haynes. Dylan Everett Hensley. Roman Deshaun Holloway. Amber Nicole Horn. Colin Joseph Hudgens. Ayon Iqbal. Caitlin Marie Jennings. Jaquinton Nakeem Jennings. Shavana Lynette Jennings. Demetrius Devonte Johnson. Bryson Cornelius Jones. Chapman Trent Jones. Natalie O'Neill Jones. Caroline Penn Joseph. Gabriel Noah Kynard.
Brannon Michael Lagrone. Lauren Denton Landreth. Caitlin Elaine Latham. Marquise Terrence Lagrone. Emma Grace Lewis. Nija LaShawn Lights. Lauren DeLois Livingston. Leighton Gray Logan. Karen Lopez. Hannah Leanne Lovett. Anderson Scott Lau, Jr. Michelle Elaine Lyerly. Zeddy Eric Mackey II. Colby Tyler Madden. Weston Paul William McCravey. Cameron Elizabeth McGahee. Britavius Coriante Mealing. Cody Allen Miller. Coriasia Jalea Moore. Noah Moore. Chantrice Yvette Moss. Grayson Allen Mumford. Aubrey Arlene New. Caitlin Brooke Wynn. Hayden Charles Wynn. Kishori Yasnik Norman. Hunter Nicole Oakley. DeAngel Renee Bavon Parks. William Parks III. Lauren Elizabeth Paramore. William Robert Pittavino. Michael Chase Prochaska. Caroline Marie Rhodes. Jalen Jerez Robertson. Quintrell DeVario Robertson. Brian Timothy Robeson. Alexandria Carson Rodriguez. Alana Jordan Roscoe. Lauren Eugenia Ross. Lindsay Francis Ross. Elias Manuel Ryans Jr. Zane Quinn Sample. Salem Ahara Sarton. Caitlin Sky Satterfield. Jonathan Lee Saxon. Mackenzie Janae Sales. Kenneth Lane Scott. Nigel Cornelius Scott. Johnny Peace Marie Seven. Jasmine Marie Shipes. Patrick Andrew Smathers. Heaven Lee Indeshe Smith. Karime Amanda Smith. Hannah Nicole Stephanie. Ashby Weeks Stokes Jr. Kylie Morgan Sweat. Tykeria Monet Tatum. Nicole Janae Taylor. Thalia Naya Thomas. Dawson Lawrence Thompson. Ashley Nicole Timmerman. Jontavius Raekwon Toole. Haley Gray Trotter. Erzbeth Milagros Vasquez. Lane Campbell Vickery. John Mackenzie Walden. Destiny Porche Watts. Cavasius Isaiah DePaul White. Isaac Thomas White. Jordan Michaela Whittle. Chevney Ariana Williams. Tavarius Jonte Williams. John Durham Wiseman, Jr. Ella Rose Wood. Lanasia Brishon Wright. Charlotte Mary Young. Graduates, please stand. Please move your tassels from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you Emerald High School's class of 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, please remain in the stands as the graduates exit the field. We will dismiss by zones after our graduates, faculty, district officials, and board members have left the field. At this time, we ask that the audience please stand as our students exit the stadium.